माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी श्री वेंकैया नायडू गारू, माननीय श्रीवरी चंद्रशेखर, Dr. Shrivari Chandrasekhar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Dr. T. Ramaswamy, former Secretary, Department of Science and Technology and our eminent scientists, Dr. Nakul Parashar, Director of Vigyan Prasar, my distinguished colleagues here, Dr. Shekhar Mande and others, and guests. This is indeed an extraordinary occasion where we gather, first of all, to honor the scientists who you heard about, whose contribution have shaped modern India, and also to hear that this is something which we will be doing every year. Today's India is being shaped from the scientific perspective by pioneering scientists, pioneering institution builders, and great missions which our science and technology have taken up for the country. Amongst our pioneering scientists, we know of great ones who have taken up who have succeeded greatly in science and who are well recognized and widely known. But there are also a very large number who have put their shoulder to the wheel and run extraordinary science, building future generations, which we haven't heard of sufficiently. Those will also be celebrated in this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. For example, at the Delhi University, Dr. Panchanan Maheshwari moved from Dhaka in 1949 and set up an extraordinary department of plant biology. That department has contributed to nurturing leaders in plant biology and agriculture who are still there with us. That's a great example of someone who built great science in a university environment, very widely recognized. Delhi at that time, interestingly, in a period from the 1960s to maybe early 1980s, had an extraordinarily large number of top scientists in our university systems and our national laboratories from the 1950s on. Dr. K.S. Krishnan, Dr. A. Mitra, Dr. Panchanan Maheshwari I mentioned, Dr. Pental, A.S. Pental, Dr. Ramalinga Swamy, Dr. Swaminathan, earlier Dr. Benjamin Pyarepal. These were all recognized globally. And today we have a big challenge, standing on the shoulders of their contributions, how we can bring the university system back into the front lines of scientific research. What happened was something which has value, but also has lessons for us. It has value in the sense India was one of the few countries at independence, the few post-colonial countries, to invest in high-level science and technology. Many people criticized India for doing so, but we today are seeing the fruits of that investment in space, atomic energy, defense, in our education system at high end, and so on and so forth. So that has been very important. But it also resulted in a disconnect somewhat between our research institutions and our education institutions. That barrier has to be broken, and we must merge our research institutions and our educational institutions intellectually in a manner which allows them to function and interact seamlessly, bringing back youth and the youngest people into the best research environments and connecting the best research environments to our university system and expanding the footprint of science. This is the big challenge we have. This is a challenge we have in the context of major problems we face, be they climate change, pandemics, biodiversity loss, environment, sustainable development. All of these are eminently addressable problems if we expand the footprint of our science and our ecosystem and have young people coming to that. So while we celebrate these great scientists and we look forward to more coming up every year, we must also see what we have to do going ahead. And this is something which is eminently feasible and we should do. In that regard, we must celebrate, analyze, and implement the government's new national education policy. That has not only opened up ideas for us to implement at the primary school level, at the high school level, in terms of the colleges, professional courses, and so on, but also highlights the importance of independent, interdisciplinary opportunities and thinking for everyone and access to research for everyone. In that context, we should see how, going ahead, we can have a new National Research Foundation which is planned, which stands on our strengths and expands our science across the country. The government also has put in place major missions in the last few years, which promises to renew our connection with the best of science and technology with our economy and our society. These are the supercomputing mission, the cyber-physical mission, the National Biopharma mission, the mission on biodiversity, which is coming soon, the quantum computing mission, and also, very importantly, a language translation mission by the Ministry of IT is going to be rolled out anytime, and that will have the ability for you, for any student in the country, to simultaneously study in their native language as well as in English. This kind of seamless translation will give each of our citizens the power of abstraction and ability to think in a daring manner in their own languages, as opposed to learning English for the purpose of communication and global interactions. With that, I would like to congratulate Vigyan Prasar and the Department of Science and Technology and the leaders of this program for putting it all together. Thank you very, very much.